What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. Fresh out of the shower and back with another Market Watch. Keep up with that hygiene, duels. I promised I wasn't going to bring back up the 2021 Megatins until I did a deep dive on should you be buying them, shouldn't you be buying them, mathematical breakdowns on probabilities and other stuff, and I've actually been working on that a little, but a huge update has happened on the Megatins, and we see a pushback on the release date from late August into mid-September, now being September 15th for OTS stores and September 17th for the official launch date. I also want to give Konami props though, actually, for that 2-day gap. It used to be only a 1-day advantage for OTSs. This is more significant on people having that itch, gotta get that product. They'll have to support an OTS rather than Walmart or Target if they want to be getting their product early. Thoughts on this are, there are two reasons this could have happened in my mind. Either there's so many 10s ordered, which it is the top set of the year each and every year, that's to be expected, that world events have made them realize, okay, to produce that many 10s, we've got to push it back. Or we're still less than a week after Ghost from the Past, and as I said, I would give 2 weeks after Ghost from the Past for a Battles of Legend announcement. Animation Chronicle in Japan is basically the Battles of Legend slot, so I don't know, it's an awesome name. I wouldn't mind them changing Battles of Legend to Animation Chronicle here as well, but we've seen Konami US keep marketing that is successful here and throw away like Duelist Pack. Oh no, it's still Legendary Duelist for the win Synchro Pack. So they could keep the name Battles of Legend, they could switch to Animation Chronicle. I kind of expect them to announce the set that contains it and when it will drop soon-ish, and this is the same kind of slot for that. I look forward to it. I would hope we still get Gold Series as well, but now we're just going and stringing possibilities and tangents. But Maximum Gold, I hope we get this year, because with Premium Gold, we saw it year after year after year for release 3 years in a row, and Maximum Gold was a smash hit. Now, my thoughts on Megatins from this: I would still be ordering now sooner than later. I'm already hearing stories from distros of, oh yeah, the 10s are $12 instead of $10.80. That's the distro price. It should be $10.80 a 10 when you do mass orders. And I hear, oh yeah, it's going to be harder to get, $12. So using code WhatsGood5 for 5% off, you can still get early bird pricing from Gamer's Choice and knock it down to about $161.50. I do overall think they're good buys early. And if you're going in for sealed, because you've seen the last 2 years of Megatins go up in a decent amount of time sealed, I would be doing that sooner than later. But if you're doing it to rip open, I plan to do a huge breakdown of the Megatins, hopefully later this week and maybe next. I keep saying that though, but I'm getting to it. I'm actually writing down things and working on the math and that sort of stuff. Now, normal summon Alistair, yep, gets even more expensive. Battles of Legend, Armageddon, Invocations have been bought out to the point of almost $50. This is pretty ridiculous, but I will give this version of the card, it has this going for it. It's not Taco Bent necessarily like the Fusion Enforcers version, which has also been bought up and out to ridiculous proportions. And these are actually starting to near the ultimate rare, which was down to almost 100 flat, but then ended up getting a buyout. And it looks like it's been rebought out to $172. That 120, yeah, that's not there anymore. Okay, so people already went after that. Sometimes you should click on things before opening for Market Watch. But yeah, speaking of fusion summoning, Predaplant Verte Anaconda is now up towards $45. We saw Dragoon shoot up in price. I suggested these while they were $22, $25. I was like, you know what? If the Dragoon engine is getting super popular in the metagame or even the rogue status, you might want to be after Verte Anacondas, and they have basically doubled up from that price point. You can even see the market price has sunk in around $45, and that's about what you're spending on an Anaconda right now if you're interested in the Dragoon package for your deck. I do think that Dragoon's interesting topic of the ban list since it got hit in the OCG, but I think Konami US will probably cash back in on Dragoon before thinking about doing anything with him. Ghost from the Past has some interesting settlements on not only the Ghost rare prices, but when we get down lower, I want to talk about some of the buyouts that had happened. You see Time Thief Adjuster. I told you guys I think a lot of people aren't going to want to go under that new number, and even early on here, you do see a couple of motivated sellers around 6, but very few, very low quantities before it's back up towards $8. I do appreciate the motivated sellers here on market doing that kind of work. They're saying, I'll make the sale, I need the feedback, I need to do this, I'm going in and I'm selling cheaper. It's awesome to see that competition start. And then Starry Night Dragon falling back a little bit faster. Nefshadol Genius has really shown itself to kind of be the surprise of the set. A lot of people were clamoring for it early on. It has spiked up in price and it is going, and Remus under 20 towards $18 already, but that is one motivated seller who's actually a top rated seller, and then it is 19 and then 20 on the front page. I love this undercutting. I love this competition from March reprint sets. It also happens with the Megatins. That's why I give a little asterisk of if you're going in on singles for the Megatins, think about it. Here's a perfect example of why ripping open sets, especially if there's some kind of chase card planted inside like Dragoon or Ghost Rares, etc., you need to really think about the math behind that gamble and roll of the dice if going in sealed. Speaking of sealed, it's still doing really freaking strong per display, per pack, despite being on store shelves. We told you that would probably happen, that it wouldn't be a coolant in price to see it at Target, at Walmart, at OTSs. The demand for the set is very real as people chase after these top-end cards, even with some of the factory errors. And now, speaking of top-end cards, we got a nice reprint of Blackluster Soldier that's super hard to pull, and people have started to buy out this version. A word of warning is that with almost every big reprint Konami has done in the last year-ish, they tend to reprint it again, even if it's high rarity. So I would think that they would have their mind on reprinting Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos, say, and nice looking gold rare, or another Battles of Legend. Why not do that reprint again? Usually Battles of Legend doesn't do back-to-back printings of a card though, so I'd be holding my breath for gold series on this. But what a huge freaking power buyout. Now, I know I say speaking of a lot, but speaking of Battles of Legend, one of the biggest dollar buyouts here ever, 10,000 Dragon. Oh my gosh, the lowest listed one is how much? 3,000 shocked YouTuber face. Let's talk about the actual things that happened. There were only 4 listings of near mint under 2,000, so even listings could have got pulled if not bought out, and I'm not too shocked about this one because when we look over eBay, which is land of the fakes as well, we can see that the Beckett graded 9s even are still under 2K. So this kind of demand for 10,000 Dragon is completely artificial. Only 4 of them had to disappear from TCG Player to try to start the Stampede from, I know a lot of people that have 9.5s on Facebook selling at 3,000 saying, please take it. I know it's a 9.5. Just take it from me. And hoping to get a sale. You can bet there's way deeper pockets that have a lot more of these that continue to stock up, hoping Japan would keep spending their money on it. And when Japan stopped, they went, okay, when, where, how? I hope somebody doesn't notice. Well, I noticed, so interesting to see how the market will take from here. Will they go clear out eBay? Will they try to create a stampede? Will people bite and take that bait? There were only 4 near mints at a decent price on TCG Player to begin with when this happened, and paying attention will pay you. Hype beasting, maybe they will go off eBay, maybe they won't, but this is a card to continue watching for now, and it definitely seems like a forced hand at doing it, disappearing only off one platform. Egyptian God Slime has been down in listings, is up in price from before. You used to be able to get this 2022, and I still actually and unfortunately suggest that you get this card because you have the upcoming God structure decks, and that's going to hype cards outward on another level. Think about it. Whenever a structure deck releases, we see this unprecedented demand, buyouts we couldn't expect. This is one of the buyouts I more so could expect thanks to the God card structure deck dropping, and I still suggest this even at this more so hype price. I would be in the market shopping for God Slime if you think so. Just know, Duels pack cards in general, Silent Magician from before Legendary Duels, cards like that, they just go up in price like this. This is a card that looks like Obelisk, has lore into the show, and is freaking awesome. You should have had yours cheaper, in my opinion. Imperial Order Duelist Saga is up in price, and somebody brought this up in stream. They're like, John, why is this up in price? Why is this $11? This is crazy. There's not that many holographic versions of Imperial Order. Imperial Order seeing more tech play within the metagame, and then Dark Beginnings got bought out. DB1, DB2, DR1, 2, 3. Those sets got hard focused, had huge buyouts on them, and they're not the easiest to get. So the next easiest holo lands on Duelist Saga. So it's the lowest rarity holo. It's a divisive rarity. Some people really like it, some people don't, and it's naturally going up because of that. Now you do see a market price of $7 on PSV Imperial Order, but that's going to include the moderately plays, the damaged ones. Let's find the actual cheapest, and this pack is still on shelves. People are still packing them. You see it's nowhere near that market price to find a near mint. It is actually, well, towards $10. I'm shocked. We do see even top-rated sellers in here thanks to those newer packs. So I would personally suggest a repack Secret Rare Unlimited over Duel Saga. Sometimes you should click the card before Market Watch, which is why I still click it during. I like to be surprised as well. Past formats, one of my favorites, Troop Dupe, and we spied on stream a dual terminal buyout on card Trooper. You also have the original first edition, well this is actually DLG1 Ultra, my bad. The original first edition from the Duelist pack bought out to an extent as well, not like a crazy price, but $435 versus the market price has been going up. It's not crazy out there, but the DT1 has some shock value to it. And to past formats, I say, you see YouTubers like Simo highlighting them a little bit, but you don't see a ton of traction into people actually playing those formats. In fact, I see more people picking up their own progression series, and some people do want to make that progression series deck in real life. I would love to see a comprehensive list of past formats and have them presented, and it's something I plan to work on eventually myself. But for people to really take interest and be playing it, I think it needs to be a communal effort. GOAT format was the brainchild of top pros combined with ARG articles getting a lot of attention, with other people coming out and showing them, and it being emulated of, oh, I want to be like top pro this or that. That's what it took, along with a platform that could support it. So for other formats to come forward, we've seen plant format tournaments. Plant format's probably the second most, and then niche formats like this, seeing buyout after buyout because of memory. For it to really stick, I feel like you need people actually playing it, or collectors to truly feel like, okay, I have a collection that shows format by format, and that to be what people care about. We'll see, but dual terminal buyouts are by far some of my least favorite, even though I love how old dual terminal looks. I would be thinking about not only the Secret Rare, which looks super nice out of Battles of Legend and is actually super low on quantities, but also first edition Duelist Pack Originals that used to be $70, $80 back in the day. And speaking of Troop Dupe format, Snipe Hunter is super low on listings for its dual terminal, as well as people focus old dual terminal buyouts. Remember, 1 through 4 went on clearance anciently, and people have stacks on stacks of extra cards after they broke even on the top end cards, sitting in their closet, not worrying about a thing with them. But the super rare is interesting to me, only up a little versus quote-unquote market price. I remember a huge buyout on this a while ago, and this is actually feels like fallout from it, but I'm sure multiple spike drops have happened. People remember this card two types of way. Man, I loved rolling Snipe Hunter and taking care of my problems, or I really hated rolling 1 or 6 with this card. But it is such a cool card for Yu-Gi-Oh! History versus a card like Magical Explosion that has trouble getting any traction from everybody just hating it on the secondary market. This one is funny to see and kind of look at alongside Card Trooper. Thanks for watching today's video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I've loved that a lot more people are starting to subscribe lately. I appreciate it. Do like the video if you enjoyed the conversation. And yeah, what do you think of the Megatin pushbacks? Some of the changes on market? Some wild things happening here, and I'm hoping this means Battles of Legend personally, but I'm not necessarily holding my breath for that.